What's going on, everyone? This is Alternator 784, and we're about to start with episode 1 of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm currently at the 06 draft, so we're gonna dig right in it. Alright. Oops. Okay. I was going to show you guys my roster before hitting the enter button, but I hit too fast.
Welcome to the 2006 NFL Draft. What makes sense?
So you know what? I'm just going to exit out of the draft for you guys, and I'm going to show you my roster. Sorry about that. Okay, let's dig right into it. So, for two of my followers that I have on there, I believe it's William or Winner. I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to remember names here. My memory's bad. Then I have King LP. All right. So as I spoke with them earlier this morning on LP's live stream, I am a diehard Eagles fan as well as Lions fan. But in this game, the Lions are extremely tough to make as a contending team. I mean, let's be real. They are in the NFC North, one of the toughest divisions in the National Football League. So I decided to take my Philadelphia Eagles back in the time of the McNabb T.O. era. So let's start off first with my coaching roster. So in my coaching roster, I had fired a lot of my coaching staff. Main reason being was back in the 05-06 season, the Eagles' offense was stumped. I mean, literally stumped. Their O-line was weak. They couldn't protect McNabb, which he got injured for the rest of the season. Westbrook was terrible, injured. T.O., besides the fact that he is a big mouth, I mean, let's be real, our receivers was terrible. So Andy Reid's West Coast offense that year wasn't doing that well. So here's what I did. I had fired my quarterback, running back, wide receiver, as well as some of my defensive coaches. So I fired my quarterback coach and I got Marv Olive with a 90 overall, and same thing with his quarterback knowledge. For running backs, I had happened to sign Todd Anderson. He may have a 76 overall, but he has a pretty decent knowledge of running backs at 82. Moving on forward. Now this guy, a lot of people on the gaming forum say he's really good and should be a future offensive coordinator, and I totally agree. I mean, over time he is going to improve on his quarterback and tight end knowledge, but he's pretty decent. I mean, he's a good motivator, 85 overall, not that much of a strategist. He has excellent, or I should say outstanding work ethic. He would make a decent running back coach as well, or offensive line coach, but look at that, 87 overall for wide receiver, pretty solid. Moving on forward, we have Tom Melvin, tight end coach. And believe it or not, I think, if my memory serves me well, he's actually one of Doug Peterson's consultants, or one of his associate coaches nowadays. He's still with the Eagles roster, or I'm not too sure. I think he may be with the Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid right now as tight end coach or OC. If someone could please comment down below if it's true or not, that would be great. Now this guy is pretty interesting. He was part of Tony Dungy's Indianapolis Colts and helped them win the Super Bowl back in 2007. Troy Calhoun, 85 overall. And look at that, same thing, 87 offensive linesman knowledge. Now for defensive line, I picked up Ted Baker, 77 overall, and a solid 83. Moving on forward, now this guy is always ranked high whenever it comes time to the higher coaching staff period. Rob Collins, who is outstanding not only on linebackers, but defensive line. His secondary knowledge is a little bit low, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I highly recommend having him either as your DL or your LB. And if you guys are wondering what happened to Andy Reid, well, he is my secondary coach at 92, with an overall average of 94. Moving on to my coordinators, there I am at 78 overall. So, I am a Vince Lombardi fanboy, so I decided to go with the motivator, and then everything else is still at a constant 76 overall. Moving on forward, we have Marty Mornwing, who used to be their offensive coordinator at the time, and I believe back in 02-03, he was the Lions head coach, which he was terrible. I mean, if you guys all remember the 2002 Thanksgiving game, where he literally effed up the coin toss, that's infamous. Oh yes, the legendary Jim Johnson, God rest his soul. He's part of the reason why the Eagles back in the day had a solid 4-3 defense. Scouting director Adam O'Keefe, and oh yes, John Harbaugh, who is the current Baltimore Ravens head coach. He is my special teams coordinator. Alright, now let's move on to my roster. I didn't make a lot of trades, like for example, last night I traded the cornerback Sheldon Brown to the Colts for Reggie Wayne. So as you can see, he is my number one wide receiver. I do apologize if I tend to stutter. This is my first time doing this, so bear with me here. Okay, so for quarterbacks, I have still Donovan McNabb, Brooks Bollinger, which I got in a trade with the Jets to get the 4th overall, but these two quarterbacks, oh yes, Dan Orlovsky from the Lions, these two I am definitely going to scrap. Probably get maybe a 6th or 7th round pick in the draft if I could make some trades, or just release them in the following week. Halfbacks, I have Adrian Peterson. Now, I don't know if this is the Adrian Peterson that just signed with the Lions. If someone could comment that below, I believe so. Fullbacks, I have nobody because Josh Perry, I let him go. For my receivers, I have Reggie Wayne, Reggie Brown, Peerless Price, Troy Edwards, and Eddie Drummond, who I got from the Lions. Tight ends, I have Boo Williams, who I picked up from free agency. Left tackles, I picked up all 3 of these guys from free agency. Their starting left tackle, Trey Thomas, I traded him away to the Texans to get the 1st overall pick. So we have Derek Dees, Ross Verba, and Victor Riley. Left guard, I picked up the free agent left guard Mike Compton. Artis Hicks, I traded him off to the Atlanta Falcons. Then, centers, I picked up Chris Terry. I mean, this guy is a go-to guy. I highly recommend him if you're looking to rebuild your team. Go for this guy. As well as Ross Tucker, he's pretty solid too. On right guards, I have Steve Sculo. Sean Andrews was originally with the Eagles, so I didn't get him by trade acquisition or free agency. And this guy I got in return for Artis Hicks, Tyson Clappell, as a perfect backup guard. Then right tackle, I picked up Frank Middleton and Kyle Turley from free agency. Now, let's move on to the defense. My left end is Brandon Whitting, picked up from free agency, 85 overall. Well, right now it's 71, but once he gets the boost, it should go up to 85. Oops, sorry about that. My keyboard is very, very sensitive. Now, on my right end, I picked up the veteran right end, John Perella. This guy is a ferocious monster on the defensive line. 6'3", even 300 pounds. Yes, he's 36 years old, but for a veteran, he could still kick ass on the defensive line. Then I picked up Antonio Cochran, and I picked up Hugh Douglas. And just like LP, when it comes to your defensive line or tackles, definitely go for monsters. I mean, guys that are like over 6 feet and then at least 280 and above, or 300 pounds. Defensive tackles, I believe, okay, is it Cletus or Cletus? I can't even pronounce this guy's name. I'll just call him Hunt. 89 overall. This guy's a ferocious monster. Then I got Tony Williams. Hollis Thomas is still with us. And Sam Rayburn. On my linebackers, so my left outside linebacker, I got Danny Jones. And I got Ryan Myers. Alright, sorry about that. I'm just trying to... Okay, bear with me here. I'm just trying to go in my comments feed. Okay, nothing's happening there. Okay, everything is good. Okay, I really don't know why my YouTube is showing my background. Okay, it's just... Okay, here we go. Must be some lag. Okay. That was just weird, but fine. Okay, middle linebackers. We got Anthony Simmons, Roman Pfeiffer, Monty Beisel, and Mark Brown. But this is going to change as I get into the draft. I am going towards drafting AJ Hawk. Then, right linebackers, Jay Foreman, Keith Adams is still with us, and I picked up this guy, I believe it was from the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, Tory Banta Kane. Then, cornerbacks, I have Lito Shepard, Davin Hawley, Roderick Hood, Ellis Hobbs, and Greg Brooks. Safeties, I only have Quinton Michael, but I am going to be drafting Michael Huff with my 6th overall pick. And then strong safeties, I have Lenny Walls. Kickers, I have David Akers. And punters, I have picked up this guy named Dave Satsudo. Alright, so let's go dig in, guys, into the draft.
Welcome to the 2006 NFL Draft.
What an exciting draft, folks. We're going to look back on this draft one day in complete awe. Having 2 teammates, Bush and Leiter, going to top 10 is unheard of. The USC football program is loving it. Also, in addition to the 3 Trojans, we have Vince Young. Some teams love him. Some teams don't even think he'll be a quarterback in 3 years. Many questions surround the game-breaking Vince Young, and it should be interesting to see who snags him. We also have a couple of spectacular ACC athletes this year in Mario Williams and Vernon Davis. Williams, a defensive end from NC State, and Davis, a tight end from Maryland, are both amazing physical specimens. Let's tune in now to hear the first pick.
Alright, so here we go, guys. My YouTube fans, they were out to draft. Months of scouting, and definitely did a lot of scouting. Let's go ahead.
Philadelphia is on the clock first.
Alrighty. Let's go draft Reggie Bush. And the reason why I'm drafting Reggie Bush is that if you're deciding to play as the Eagles in your first season, they are in desperate need of a young, solid running back. So that was the main reason why I traded down to get Reggie Bush. And for this, like I said, I got rid of Trey Thomas for the 1st overall pick. For my 2nd overall pick, I traded the safety Brian Dawkins, and Terrell Owens, I traded him to the Titans for the 3rd overall.
Yes?
Come on, are you kidding me? Wants to go after Gokong? No, we're drafting Reggie Bush, bro. This reminds me so much of you, John, with the Lions, and I don't even know why they wanted you to get a guard in the 1st round. I mean, come on. That's just like the Raiders going after a kicker. Okay, now where is he? Here we go, Reggie Bush. Are you sure you want to draft him? Heck yeah.
The Eagles selected their man, and here he is. Philadelphia. is on deck. Great pick and certainly a no-brainer. Reggie Bush has been the #1 player on my big board for good reason. They're getting a kid who can hurt a defense in so many ways. I think Reggie Bush's game will translate to the NFL without any problems at all.
Okay, let's see what he
Much like the
says.
Rams did with Marshall Faulk. I think we'll see Bush line up at the receiver.
No, get it through your thick skull, Adam. I ain't going after Gokong. Heck no.
Shows a great first, very, very rare change of direction, and has a vision that coaches just can't.
I am going after Vernon Davis because I need a solid tight end. Oh man, if only there was a mod in this game to get someone like Gronk or Kelsey, or a solid running back like Christian McCaffrey from the Panthers. If anybody's watching this, comment below if there are any new roster updates for NFL Coach. If there is, if you could provide the link on my comment feed, that would be awesome, and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so as you just saw moments ago, my scouting director is not agreeing with who I want right now at the current time. So my mind's already made up. I'm going with Vernon Davis. We need a solid tight end, guys.
The Eagles have just made their pick. The Eagles select next Vernon Davis. I like this pick a lot. It's value. Also, when it comes to speed and strength combined, Davis is the best athlete out of anyone in this draft class. This kid rewrote the weightlifting record book at Maryland, and he blazed a 4.38 in the 40-yard dash. The NFL
I am definitely not gonna listen to what this guy says.
Vernon Davis leaps over 40 inches.
I mean, I could always go after Matt Leinart, but I have McNabb, so I probably won't. Maybe I might go after Vince Young, because Vince Young, everyone's telling me that he's fun to play with and develop.
Primarily as a tight end. He also lined up at wide receiver and fullback.
AJ.
Racked up 871 receiving yards. His only weakness is his blocking, which he actually has improved each year. Davis has great potential and a huge jump shot. Really anxious to see him play at the next level, and I think this is a great fit.
Alright, let's go for it, guys. AJ.
The Eagles have made their selection. The Eagles are up next.
We
Well,
just
it was only a matter of time before A.J. Hawk was drafted. Hawk, in 2005 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, was the only player
I just drafted a running back, and I don't know why that's not ticked off. That must be a glitch for sure. Fullback, yes, I do need one, obviously, and a safety. Alright.
You have to love the intangibles. He's tough, competitive, and works as hard as any linebacker out there. We'll have a tougher time in the NFL.
I'm going to be drafting Paulie Nava.
But I think that's true with any physical linebacker coming out of college. This defense is already drastically improved by just adding Hawk to the lineup. Philadelphia has revealed their latest pick, the Packers.
Let's see what the Packers get next.
By drafting Haloti Ngata, they're getting more than just a big guy who climbs up the middle. He'll be making plays in the backfield. He's a tough, strong, athletic defender who should make a big impact as a run stopper and pass rusher. Ngata is a very smart, emotional player who just needs to learn to sustain his energy throughout the course of the game. Since he was almost double-teamed in college, he'll be able to bring that experience with him to the pros. He has tremendous potential. As long as he keeps improving, he'll be one of the best defensive tackles in the game.
Okay, let's see what they get now.
Green Bay has
Leinart,
made their
of
pick.
course.
The Eagles are up next. With Leinart, this is a very smart, safe pick.
Right,
Matt Leinart is a
6
guy that they want to build the franchise around.
I'm going
You really can't blame
after
him. Most every NFL quarterback has great physical tools, but what separates the cream from the crop is the mental aspect of it. That's what separates Peyton Manning and Tom Brady from the rest of the 6'5" drop-back passers. Matt Leinart has that same exact mentality. He's a student of the game, and he shows great confidence and composure. I guarantee you that when he shows up at camp with a new teammate, they'll definitely buy into him. He is a leader and he's a winner. It's as simple as that. On the physical side, he displays excellent accuracy. With great touch on the football. The only concern I can think of is his arm strength. He's not going to throw a 40-yard post route on a frozen rope like the Favres and the Bledsoe. However, mediocre arm strength is not going to stop this guy from being a success as long as they continue to build around him.
Michael Huff. Here we go.
The Eagles have made their selection. Oakland has the next selection. Solid pick here with Michael Huff. He's athletic, instinctive, and has the versatility for the next level. Played the safety position very well for Texas, but he can make the adjustment to corner if they decide to go that way with him. He's a playmaker, has a nose for the ball. He made a lot of big plays in the secondary for the national championship Longhorns, and once he settles into the NFL, he'll be making big plays there as well. This is a guy who will be a good tackling corner or someone who can come up to make a stop for the safety. safety position. Some teams have been skeptical and labeled him a tweener.
No, I ain't skeptical, because let me tell you, he is an awesome safety, and I got lots, and I wouldn't say tons, but
has
a
revealed
pretty
their latest
good
number
of interceptions for
I
him.
like this selection in the first round. This kid is tough and hard-nosed, and he loves to play football. While he's not the
So Gokong, the guy that my scouting director wanted me to go after, he has just been drafted by the Raiders. Okay, so Mario Williams is still on there. Let's see if we can make some trades. Okay. Alright, let me see. I know the Cardinals were a terrible team in the 06 season in my game all the time. Let's see what scrap I could get rid of. Okay. I would doubt this.
Have announced their selection. The Lions are up next. Here we go, Mario Williams. I love this kid.
Okay, so Mario Williams to the Bills.
Amazing natural athlete, defensive end into Julius Peppers Bowl. Remember, at 6'7", 295, he has excellent size and long arms. As I said, best defensive end prospect Jenkins and Peppers in 2002. He's the type of player who can take over a football game, and I don't think he's anywhere near his full potential.
Defense.
That's a scary thought considering he had 13 sacks last season as a junior. The only question mark was consistency and motive. He doesn't always give it to his all in every play, but I think you'll see that change with better coaching at the next level.
There we go.
Detroit has finished making their selection. Arizona is up next. This kid was a good all-conference player in college.
Oh, I got Josh Allen. Okay, so Lions get this in secondary.
So long count
Okay.
with some other players in his position. Lions will make
Let me try
fine
Cleveland. Let's see what they got. Javon Parker. Why does it mean tell me something? Derek Anderson. Charlie Fires, ain't that bad?
Has selected their man, and here he is. St. Louis picks next.
Yes.
There are more physically gifted players left, but I like this pick in round one.
That was low ball.
Played a very complex team in college, and I think that'll help him adjust to the NFL very quickly. It should be a very good addition for Arizona.
Let's see what our rivals, New York Giants, have.
St. Louis has made their pick. The Browns select next. I thought this kid would fall another round or so. This isn't a bad pick in the first round. With a solid college player, he should be a very confident backup at his position for St. Louis.
Seattle. I've been trying very hard with them to get the wide receiver Bobby Ingram for the last couple of days, with not that much success. I mean, I can always get rid of Reggie Brown or Price.
The Browns have just made their pick. The Ravens are up next.
No,
I don't know if I really like this pick in round one.
Let's see
Granted, this
if
kid
they want
does
to
have
get
some
Reggie
potential.
Brown.
He's definitely a positive influence in any locker room. However, he lacks the production before he warranted this pick. I think there's a major risk to be taken here by Cleveland.
Okay. They think I'm lowballing. Okay, maybe. Leroy Hill. 63 to 85.
The Ravens have made their selection. The 49ers will select next. This kid's college coach said he's one of the best players he's ever coached. I'm kind of surprised he lasted this long. But here he goes in round one. There's talk this kid might not fit the system that they run here, but he's very coachable and will be a solid addition to Baltimore.
Let me try. I don't think the rules. Yeah. Jesus. No, fuck. F the Hawks too hard.
their selection. Atlanta has the next selection. I'm not sure if this was a good pick or a bad pick in the first round. He got some pretty good physical skills, but the decision-making that he had on the field, mediocre at best. Basically, a potential developmental prospect with a decent amount of upside. This selection could really work for or against San Francisco.
Let's first see what I have that I could really get rid of. I really need a good cornerback. So what I'm going to do is...
just made their pick. Miami picks next. This kid was in the draft last year. He would have been selected a little bit higher. But inconsistent play last season helped him fall back to this pick in the first round. I like the way that he hustles, and I think he'll provide a solid contribution for Atlanta.
50 to 67.
Revealed their latest pick. Minnesota is on deck. You have to respect the gutsy pick. Sure, Vince Young is an outstanding
has been drafted by
one of the
Miami.
best single-game performances in college football history, but there were still a lot of question marks. Everything from his throwing motion to how he will do on
that's the case that I'm going to go after Nick Mangold, the center.
Shotgun. It will be interesting to see how he adapts to the NFL playbook. Is Vince Young a project? Yes, he is, but what quarterback isn't a project? Down the road, this pick might look like the result of a lot of road pole hype, or it could be the best pick in the whole draft. We know that Young has the physical, great size and strength, strong arm. Turns into a running back and crosses the line of scrimmage. We all love this about Vince Young, and I can tell you that they are thrilled to have him at this pick. This seems like a pretty good pick here in the first round. I think that I would have filled some other needs and probably gone in a different direction, but this kid will help to fill a void in Minnesota. Made their selection. San Diego is now on deck. This kid wants to be a great player in the NFL. He'll definitely have to cut down on all the mistakes he made in college. He's very talented physically. He should be able to live up to his billing with this pick in round one. I'm a little bit surprised that they would take a chance on him in Dallas.
Okay, I'm going to try Buffalo and get a cornerback. Let's try Kevin Thomas. Get rid of maybe. Okay, 50, 67. No, okay.
San Diego has made their pick. The Chiefs select next. Based strictly on talent, I don't think that I would have taken this kid here in the first round. But I think that a lot of people overlook his leadership abilities. He has the heart and attitude to be a good player and really make a difference.
Okay,
San Diego.
I'll just trade one of my scrap quarterbacks then. Okay, you know what? Forget the trades. We'll just skip the draft. I'll just release all my scraps on free agency. Oh, there we go. It was updated. Okay, I was just random.
Kansas City has finished making their selection. New England picks next. A huge chance is being taken here with this selection in round one. Even though he was more productive last year, he has been marginally productive throughout his college career. I guess one season was enough to warrant
the Raiders and get their third round pick. Because there is a solid fullback named BJ Dean who's really, really good, and he easily gets up to 99 overall after preseason. He just shuts up, and I would consider him as a sleeper pick alongside with the left end Chris Craig and middle linebacker Troy McCoy.
New England has made their pick. The Redskins are up next. He's a pretty good-looking pick in the first round. His college coaches had only good things to say about him, and they'll look for him to make a difference in New England.
I'm gonna get rid of Ross Tucker because I'm gonna have Mangold and Chris Terry as my centers if no one picks him. So Ross Tucker, my 5th round pick for a 3rd. Let's see what the Raiders have to say. And they say it's a joke. Okay, let's remove this and let's try our 4th round pick.
The Redskins just made their pick. Tampa Bay is on deck. I don't know about this pick here.
Nah.
This kid shows good playmaking abilities, but he must improve the details of his game if he really wants to shine the way some experts think he can. I'm torn between liking and disliking this pick.
Let me try Green Bay. They really think it's a joke. Okay. Alright, let me go
Buccaneers made their selection.
Leader.
As the next selection. This is a boom or bust situation with this kid being picked here in the first round. This guy brings a great deal of intensity to the field, but is prone to lapses in concentration. Some experts have even labeled him as a loose cannon of sorts. It all depends on his mental attitude that will ultimately determine whether or not this was a good pick for Tampa Bay.
Oh, look at man, he's interested. Okay. Miami is tempted.
Cincinnati has made their pick. The Giants are up next. They wanted to add another weapon to their offense, and it's exactly what they got by selecting D'Angelo Williams.
I am going to get rid of Paul's Thomas. It's not
like the
bringing me down.
battlefield shows tremendous patience. Or has durability question. He runs low to the ground and rarely lets the
Done.
get a solid shot.
Alright,
One of the most productive backs.
and nobody has yet drafted Mangold. So there we go, guys.
However, you can't ignore a
I
fact that
traded
his measurable
Paulus Thomas,
didn't do him justice. They wanted
Ross
to play
Tucker
in the Memphis
to the
uniform.
Dolphins
Those that play much faster than the 4-5
for
round
the
four.
3rd round
If he
pick.
stays healthy, D'Angelo Williams has everything it takes to be a solid running back in the NFL. The Giants have selected their man, and here he is. Philadelphia picks next. Because of this kid's lack of consistency, this is a very risky pick here in the first round. This kid can play like an All-American, or he can play like he's in high school. If you can get the All-American type of player out of him, he'll be a great pick for us, New York.
Yeah, the Colts got my 2nd round pick in the trade for Reggie Wayne. There we go. Pick 16, okay. I'm not gonna agree with him. My scout. Nick Mangold.
Philadelphia has made their pick. The Bears are up next. I'm really skeptical about this selection here in round 1. This is a prospect that has top athletic skills and football ability. He could end up being the steal in this year's draft if he can prove that he can overcome his off-the-field problem. This has a 50-50 chance of working out for Philadelphia.
And it does work out, guys. Trust me. He's a beast. And what's good about having Mangold, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you have 3 centers, while playing as the Eagles especially, and with Nick Mangold as your star center, when you're in your office hours, try to switch Chris Terry's position from a center to either a left or right guard, and believe it or not, Chris Terry actually gets a 10% bonus in his overall if you move into a guard. And he actually does a lot better as a guard than a center when protecting your quarterback. I've noticed this as I was playing along in my previous build, but that crashed because I had some glitches, especially. Here's another thing, guys, if this happened to you, when you're doing your practices, does it ever happen after 2-3 reps your screen menu goes blank. Like for example, your control keys here as I'm clicking just go blank and you cannot even make your plays. And the most, I would say, random glitch or bug is that when you're in week 1 of the regular season and you're about to start your game, the score shows as 255 as your score for both teams, and the stadium where you're playing in is Soldier Field, home of the Bears. And I've been doing some tweaking around, patching and stuff, so knock on wood that this doesn't happen to me right now.
I really believe White could have started from any other college last season. Think back to the days when Priest Holmes was a little known back up in Texas behind Ricky Williams. Both ended up being Pro Bowlers at the next level. It's going to be the same story for Leadville White and Reggie Bush. I think this pick can be a good one or a bad one for this team in round 1. There's no question of his talent. This kid definitely has some character issues. I'm surprised they took a chance on him. If he ever matures, it'd be a steal at this pick by Denver. Have announced their selection. Seattle has the next selection. This kid only played 1 year of college football, but he showed us a lot last year to earn this pick in the first round. He'll have to prove it a bit to make him a more complete player, but he has the right attitude to do good things in Indianapolis. Seahawks have just made their pick.
Oh yes. Another thing I noticed in this game is that if you don't have the first overall pick, the Texans always draft A.J. Hawk for some reason. Same thing goes that if you don't trade for the 4th overall, the Jets randomly, or I would say all the time, they would get Santonio Holmes. And in the 2nd round of the 2006 NFL draft, the Seahawks always draft a kicker, as I've noticed. And you'll see that as we move further into the 2nd round.
Pittsburgh has revealed their latest pick. The Texans select next. I'm really surprised about this kid being selected in the first round. This kid has displayed good instincts and excellent hands. However, he's very limited physically, which means that his upside is potentially limited. This pick could possibly blow up in the face of Pittsburgh. Have announced their selection. The Saints are up next. I don't know about this pick here in round 2. This kid showed some good playmaking abilities, but he must improve the details of his game if he really wants to shine the way some experts think he can. I'm torn between liking and disliking this pick by Houston. Just made their pick. The Titans select next. I like this kid in college. I like him in workout.
Alright, you know what guys, let's just skip.
Round 2. I projected him going a bit further in the draft. But I know that
I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about when it comes to Seattle. Okay. See, Jonathan Cyphers. I wasn't kidding you guys. Okay, so let's see line art. Cutlers to the Chiefs. Young to the Dolphins, Clemens, Whitehurst to the Colts, Jackson to the... Okay. No fullbacks. Alright, we're going after BJ Dean, guys. Let's do this.
has selected their man, and here he is. The Vikings are up next. I don't know if I love or hate this pick here in the 3rd round. This player definitely lacks the top upside for the next level, but he proved he can be super productive in college. Perhaps if he's inserted into the correct system, he can...
Alright, we're going to the next pick. Just so Chris Craig was not drafted. Actually, no, wait, no. He's a 4th round guy. Not drafted. Defensive ends. Not yet. Oh, let's bring that. And what about that linebacker? Nada. Niente. Null. Zilch. Okay. So some decent guys there.
Have made their selection.
I really need a quarterback.
Is up next. Anyone that I've talked to about this kid has spoken very highly about it. However, I question whether it was the right choice to come off the board with this selection in the 4th round. But I do think that he gets the job done at the next level in Houston.
We're going after Chris Craig.
Philadelphia has made their pick. The Cardinals are up next. This kid has very good NFL talent. He's a good selection with this pick in the 4th round. Played on a good team in college and is expected to produce at the next level in Philadelphia.
Okay. I think Troy McCoy has been drafted. Yes. Wow! Of all teams, my Detroit Lions get Troy McCoy, and I know there's no way that their GM, George Feebles, which is a random generated NPC in the game, is not gonna comply or budge with me for this, because Troy McCoy is a sleeper pick, and he's a tenacious and ferocious linebacker. Okay. Alright, so if that's the case, I'm gonna need secondary. Jennings. 43, okay. Speed. Awareness is not good. Play recognition. Coverage. Agility. Okay, I'm not too crazy. Let's see, we have Roman Harper, Willie Andrews, Landry. Okay. That's the issue I have here. Do I go after Roman Harper? Trucks. 496. Okay, let's see. Okay, this guy seems like a decent pick. I'm gonna go with Dewan Landry, short safety.
The Eagles have selected their man, and here he is. The Falcons select next. I kind of question this kid being selected here in round 5. He definitely possesses the skill as well as the ability to develop into an upper echelon player one day. However, he needs to work on motivation. He needs to prove he's worthy of being this pick made by Philadelphia.
Okay, let's see what Scout has to say now. I'll just...
What is it now, sir?
Hey, so much for attitude, huh?
Philadelphia has made their pick. At Atlanta is on deck. This is a pretty good pick here to select this guy in round 7. I think with proper development, he can become a pretty good player for Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's pretty low. And that's it, guys.
Whether achieved by trade or poor performance, having a top 5 draft pick is a double-edged sword. Choose poorly, and you've wasted not only money, but respect with the owner and fans. Choose wisely, and your team could be set for years to come.
Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream now, and I'm going to stream again tomorrow when we head into training camp. So, peace!